Good afternoon. Today we are doing lesson 2.8 integers. In today's lesson, we are going negative. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is why are we going negative? That doesn't sound good. But what that means is if we have a number line, on the right side of the number line, we have all our positive numbers. So I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When we include integers, integers are all whole numbers, positive or negative. So if we look at the other side of our number line, after 0 the other way, we have -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. That number line would go both ways forever and ever if I drew it longer. I'm going to pause your video and copy down that number line on your paper, and we're going to use that to help us solve a few problems. Okay, first of all, I had a spelling catastrophe up front. There's the correct spelling of negative. I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that. Alright, so here's our problem now that you have your number line copied down. A class made a goal to read 5 books. Here is how they did. So I'm going to put some numbers in these boxes. Jim read one more book than he was supposed to. So he read 6 books. So we're going to put him in a +1. Bob only read 3 books. So Bob is going to be -2. Susie read 7 books. So she'll be a +2. Frank read exactly 5 books. So he doesn't get plus, he's not over 5. He's not under 5, he just gets a 0 because he's right at 5. And Jill read 6 books. So we'll go +1. So again, Jim overall read 6 books. Bob overall only read 3. Susie read 7. Frank 5. And Jill 6. So you see these numbers in the boxes here are just how much over or under 5 they were. And so the questions that we're going to look at today are going to make us count how many over and under were all 5 kids all together, all 5 of these kids. And so we're going to use our number line for that. So on your number line right now, I want you to put a circle over the 0. Put a dot over the 0. Okay, because we're going to start at 0. We're not over how many they were supposed to read. We're not under how many they were supposed to read. Now let's start with Jim. When we take Jim, he read 1 more than he was supposed to, or a +1. We're going to jump to +1 because he read 1 more than he was supposed to. He read 6. So now we're on +1. Next, Bob read -2. So he was 2 below what he was supposed to read. So we have to go back 2 on our number line. So I'm going to go jump back to 0 and then down to -1. I jumped backwards 2. Does everyone see that? I'm going to actually do that in a different color so you can see it a little better. So we jumped forward 1, backwards -2. Okay. Now we're going to look at the next book, or next person. Susie read +2. So we're on -1 now. Now we have to go +2. So 1, 2. We're back to 1. Okay. We're just going to keep going down the line for each person. The next one, Frank, he read exactly 5. So he didn't read more or less than he had to. He had a 0. So we stay right at 0. And our last person was Jill. Jill read +1. So we are at the 1 right now. We go 1 more positive to 2. And 2 is where our final point is. So let me explain what that means if we're at 2. If each person in the class was supposed to read 5 books, and there were 5 people, they were supposed to read 5